It was just something that happened, something that I didn't create. When you was a little kid and you played in the boys' club.
Kevin Mitchell's baseball career, though marked by brilliant moments, was often overshadowed by negative headlines. Struggles with obesity, frequent injuries, rape allegation, and his fiery temper became central themes, cutting his career shorter than many had expected. Before we dive in any further, please don't forget to subscribe. Starting off strong with the sexual assault case, the rape accusation was the most shocking against Mitchell. He was facing serious allegations, including charges of rape, rape with a foreign object, false imprisonment, and battery. He was arrested on December 1st and had been released on $61,000 bail. The accusations stem from an incident on November 30th when the woman from San Diego claimed that Mitchell had assaulted her at his home in Chula Vista. According to her report to the police, she had gone to his house around 4 a.m. to talk with him. Chula Vista Police Lieutenant George Sherwood stated that the woman later told authorities that Mitchell had dragged her into his bedroom and forcibly raped her. She reported the incident 2 hours after it allegedly happened. However, the San Diego County Deputy District Attorney later announced that prosecutors were dropping the charges. The woman's attorney explained that her client chose not to move forward with the criminal case because she wanted to protect her privacy. Moreover, he almost choked Sammy Khalifa on the field. One of Mitchell's most intense moments as an enforcer for the Mets came in June 1986 during a game against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. The incident started when Mets first base coach Bill Robinson accused Pirates pitcher Rick Rhoden of illegally scuffing the baseball. Words were exchanged, and things quickly escalated when Robinson shoved Rhoden. Mitchell, known for backing up his teammates, rushed over to support Robinson. As Mitchell approached Rhoden, Pirates infielder Sam Khalifa charged at him. Mitchell recalls tackling Khalifa in a blind rage, dragging his face across the artificial turf and refusing to let go, even as the fight was starting to break up. Once the brawl ended, the umpire, Charlie Williams, ejected Robinson, stating that he had started the fight by pushing Rhoden. The next day, the National League handed out fines. Robinson was fined $500. Pirates manager Jim Leyland was fined $400, and Mitchell, Rhoden, and Khalifa each received $200 fines for their roles in the fight. The Chad Curtis brawl worsened everything. In May 1996, a tense situation unfolded in the clubhouse between Mitchell and his teammate Chad Curtis. It all started when Curtis took issue with the lyrics of a rap song that Mitchell was playing on the stereo. Upset by the music, Curtis turned off the stereo, which sparked a heated argument between the two. Things quickly escalated, and the pair ended up exchanging punches. During the scuffle, Mitchell threw Curtis over a ping-pong table. As a result of the fight, Curtis suffered a bruised right thumb and had to be placed on the 15-day disabled list. Not long after the incident, on May 24th, Mitchell was designated for assignment, signaling the end of his time with the team. However, this wasn't the end of his outburst. After his retirement in August 1999, Mitchell found himself in more legal trouble when he was arrested for assaulting his father, Earl, during an eviction. Mitchell was trying to remove Earl from a rental property he owned, but tensions boiled over. Earl had struggled with cocaine addiction for years and had even been involved in dealing drugs. At one point, he had pawned Mitchell's prized 1986 World Series championship ring to get money for drugs. While managing the Sonoma County Crushers in the independent leagues in 2000, Mitchell found himself in hot water after a chaotic incident. During a heated brawl between the Crushers and their opponents, tensions flared and things got out of control. In the heat of the moment, Mitchell punched the owner of the opposing team right in the mouth. This altercation didn't go unnoticed, and as a consequence, he was suspended for 9 games. This incident highlighted Mitchell's uncontrolled anger, which had been a part of his career throughout his time in baseball. He became a bully at the golf course, too. Leonard Lerma and Mitchell had both taken lessons from the same golf instructor, but things took a turn for the worse later that day. Lerma ended up complaining to another man about how the golf lesson had negatively impacted his game. Unbeknownst to him, Mitchell overheard this conversation and wasn't happy about it. He confronted Lerma, asking why he was speaking poorly about their instructor. Lerma testified that although they had an argument, it didn't escalate into anything serious at that time. However, a week later, while Lerma was out on the golf course, he noticed Mitchell approaching him in his golf cart, wearing a serious expression. Lerma recounted that the situation quickly escalated into a physical confrontation. He described how Mitchell slapped him on the cheek, then punched him in the cheek and again in the forehead. During the altercation, Lerma claimed that Mitchell even mentioned having a gun in his golf bag and said he wasn't afraid to use it. Ultimately, the court sentenced Mitchell to 3 years of probation and required him to attend anger management classes to help him deal with his temper and the violent incident. He was a troublesome youth. Mitchell's childhood wasn't ideal as his parents got separated when he was 2 years old. His paternal grandmother supported his interest in sports. He had a tough time in school, which led him to attend several different high schools in San Diego. These included Lincoln High School, Claremont High School, and Crawford High School. At Crawford, he even claimed to have played water polo. While people often say he graduated from Claremont and that he was a star football player there, the truth is that he only attended that school for a brief 2 months in 1978. During his youth, Mitchell reportedly got involved with street gangs, though he has always maintained that he was never actually a member. He also shared some harrowing experiences from his past, claiming that he was shot 3 times when he was younger. Tragically, his stepbrother Donald was killed in a gang fight, which highlights the dangerous environment Mitchell was surrounded by during his formative years. It's interesting to note that Mitchell reportedly did not play baseball during high school. Instead, his path to the professional league took a different route. After attending an open tryout at Grossmont College, he caught the attention of scouts from the New York Mets. They saw potential in him and decided to sign him as an undrafted free agent. This was a big moment for Mitchell, as he received a $1,500 signing bonus, along with a monthly salary of $600. This opportunity marked the beginning of his journey in professional baseball. Ordinary debut and eventual rise. Mitchell made his major league debut on September 4, 1984, in a game against the St. Louis Cardinals. He came in as a pinch hitter, but unfortunately flew out in his only plate appearance that day. Overall, he had a brief introduction to the big leagues, finishing the 1984 season with a batting average of .213 and 1 RBI over the course of 7 games. After spending the entire 1985 season playing in the minor leagues, Mitchell made a strong comeback in 1986 with the New York Mets. He had a solid year, batting .277 and hitting 12 home runs, along with 43 RBIs in 108 games. One of the most memorable moments of his career came during the 10th inning of Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. With 2 outs already recorded, Wally Backman and Keith Hernandez had been retired. The Mets needed a spark, so Mitchell was called to pinch hit for reliever Rick Aguilera after Gary Carter, who was batting next, got a single. At that moment, Mitchell had already changed out of his uniform and was dressed in his regular clothes, but he quickly put his uniform back on, though he forgot to wear his protective cup. Rushing to the plate, he managed a single. That crucial hit led to him scoring the tying run on a wild pitch from Bob Stanley to Mookie Wilson. The Mets ultimately won the game and the series, granting Mitchell his first and only World Series ring. However, things took a turn for Mitchell when, on December 11, 1986, the Mets traded him to the San Diego Padres. In exchange, the Mets received Kevin McReynolds, Gene Walter, and Adam Ging. Mitchell played for the Padres for the first half of 1987, where he batted .245, hitting 7 home runs and driving in 26 runs over 62 games. He soon became a true star. On July 4, 1987, Mitchell was traded to the San Francisco Giants in a significant multiplayer deal that also included pitchers Dave Dravecky and Craig Lefferts. Initially, Dravecky was seen as the key player in this trade for the Giants. However, it was Mitchell who really stole the spotlight and emerged as a standout player. After joining the Giants, he quickly made an impact, hitting an impressive .306 with 15 home runs and 44 RBIs in just 69 games. In 1988, Mitchell continued to play well, finishing the season with a batting average of .251, along with 19 home runs and 80 RBIs over the course of 148 games. He primarily played at third base during his first 2 seasons with the team, but everything changed in 1989 when he was moved to the outfield. This switch proved to be a turning point in his career, as he had his best season yet. That year, Mitchell batted .291 and led the league with a remarkable 47 home runs and 125 RBIs in 154 games. His outstanding performance not only helped the Giants make it to the playoffs, but also earned him the National League's Most Valuable Player Award, making him the first Giant to receive this honor since Willie McCovey in 1969. Mitchell was also selected for his first All-Star team that season, showcasing his talent on a national stage. He led all of Major League Baseball in several key categories, including slugging percentage, on-base plus slugging, total bases, and intentional walks. In the 1989 postseason, Mitchell continued to shine. He posted an impressive .353 batting average in the National League Championship Series, contributing 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. His performance played a crucial role in helping the Giants reach the World Series for the first time since 1962. In the World Series itself, Mitchell hit safely in every game, finishing with a .294 average, 1 home run, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs during the Giants' 4-game sweep by the Oakland Athletics. This postseason success further solidified his status as a star player in Major League Baseball. The barehanded catch
That's sliced to left field, and it's another chance for Mitchell, and he makes a barehanded catch.
One of the glorious moments in his career was his barehanded catch. Mitchell set the stage for his remarkable 1989 season right from the start, showcasing his defensive skills with a memorable play on April 26th. The game took place at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and Mitchell was racing toward the left field foul line, chasing a ball hit by Ozzie Smith. As he sprinted, he suddenly realized that he had overrun the ball and thought he might miss it. But in a split second, he showed incredible instinct and athleticism. With quick reflexes, Mitchell reached back and managed to catch the ball with his bare hand, pulling off an impressive play that left fans and teammates in awe. This moment not only highlighted his talent, but also set a positive tone for the rest of the season, as it was a clear indication of the kind of exciting plays he would make throughout the year. In 1990, Mitchell made his way back to the All-Star team, solidifying his status as one of the league's top players. By the end of that season, he had impressive stats, batting .290 with 35 home runs and 93 RBIs over the course of 140 games. His performance was remarkable, and he ranked among the National League leaders in several important categories. He finished third in home runs and slugging percentage, with a solid 544. Additionally, he placed sixth in on-base plus slugging at .904, eighth in total bases with 285, and ninth in extra base hits, totaling 61. However, the following year in 1991 brought some changes for Mitchell. He played in 113 games and ended the season with a batting average of 256, along with 27 home runs and 69 RBIs. While his numbers were still respectable, they marked a decline from the previous season, reflecting the ups and downs that many players experience in their careers. Despite this, Mitchell continued to demonstrate his skills and resilience on the field, showing that he was still a valuable player for his team. Obesity brought his career down. On December 11, 1991, Mitchell and pitcher Mike Remlinger were traded to the Seattle Mariners. When Mitchell arrived at spring training with the Mariners, he found himself 30 pounds overweight, which made it tough for him to start the season strong. By the end of May, he was struggling, batting just .222s with only 2 home runs and 20 RBIs. However, everything changed starting on June 1st. Mitchell began to turn his season around and hit an impressive .337 over the remainder of the season. During that span, he also hit 7 home runs and drove in 47 runs in his last 54 games. By the end of the season, he finished with a solid overall batting average of .286, along with 9 home runs and 67 RBIs across 99 games with the Mariners. Then, on November 17, 1992, Mitchell was traded again, this time to the Cincinnati Reds in exchange for pitcher Norm Charlton. During his 2 seasons with the Reds, he experienced a resurgence in his performance. In 1993, he batted a remarkable .341 with 19 home runs and 64 RBIs in just 323 at-bats. The following year, in the strike-shortened 1994 season, he maintained his success with a .393 average, hitting 30 home runs and collecting 77 RBIs. Despite these strong numbers, his ongoing weight issues held him back from reaching even greater heights. In 1995, due to the baseball strike, Mitchell chose to play for the Fukuoka Daiei Hawks in Japan, where he became the highest-paid player in Japanese baseball history. Unfortunately, his time in Japan was complicated. He upset the team's management by traveling back to the U.S. mid-season to seek treatment for knee problems, even though they advised against it. He only spent about 2 months with the Hawks, and it was later confirmed that he indeed needed surgery on his knee. On March 8, 1996, Mitchell signed as a free agent with the Boston Red Sox. In his brief time with Boston, he hit .304 with 2 home runs and 13 RBIs in just 27 games. But on July 30th, he was traded back to the Reds in exchange for infielder Roberto Mejia and pitcher Brad Tweedley. He continued to perform well, batting .325 with 6 home runs and 26 RBIs in 37 games for the Reds to finish the season. Looking for a fresh start, Mitchell signed a minor league contract with the Oakland Athletics on March 9, 1998. After a strong showing in spring training, he made the team's opening day roster. However, his time with Oakland was cut short. On August 4th, the Athletics released him after he batted .228 with 2 home runs and 21 RBIs in 51 games. After leaving the major leagues, Mitchell played for 2 seasons in independent baseball before officially retiring from professional play. Since hanging up his cleats, he has settled back in San Diego. There, he has kept his love for the game alive by playing in the San Diego Adult Baseball League for a championship team known as the San Diego Black Sox. It's great to see that even after retirement, Mitchell continues to stay connected to the sport he loves. That is it for this one. But if you happen to like MLB Legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel, Baseball Icons. I'm sure you will love it. Oh, and while you are at it, drop a comment telling us who to cover next, and don't forget to subscribe.